guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, my name is Allison and I am so happy to have you. Today we are going to focus on getting our makeup done fast. We want to get it done in like 10-15 minutes because we don't got time. If you want to see how I got this look, please keep watching. All right, so let's get started. I have cleansed my skin. I am going to prep my skin with this Pharmacy Skin Dew. When I do it right before I put my makeup on, it just gives this really pretty glow. I'm not gonna do primer all over my face, but I'm gonna use the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing formula, just a little bit. I just feel as I've gotten older, right through here, my pores stand out a little bit more. I'm just gonna put it right here. And I like to like push it in right through there, and I do a little here. Just kind of wherever, if you're gonna do this step, it's wherever you feel that you have some extra areas that need help. Maybe some fine lines, deeper lines, bigger pores. I'm not gonna do any kind of a liquid foundation today. I am going to go straight now into my concealer. We're gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape. And the way that I like to apply it, I just roll a little onto the back of my hand, and I use a concealer brush to apply it where I want it, as well as on my lid. It's gonna double as my primer for my eye. Now that I have it placed, I'm gonna use my lemon drop and just pat it in. I'm bringing it down, just so it looks nice and blended. And these kids, I know I keep talking about them, but I feel like I need a little extra. Parker, my youngest, he's starting to not nap, he's 2. Man, not napping. So tired. Now I'm going to immediately set that concealer with my RCMA powder. I just pour it in the lid, and I go directly into it with my beauty sponge. And I just put some on, tap it in. I start on the outside part and then bring it towards my nose. I want the least amount of product the closer I get in towards my nose, if that makes sense. The heavier the weight of your makeup on areas that have like really fine skin and fine lines, you're gonna emphasize those lines more if you pack a ton of product on there. So I like to keep it light. All right, let's do the other eye. Now, if you have any other areas that you just kind of want to spot check with your concealer, now's the time to do it. And I am going to be using my Pure 4-in-1 pressed powder all over this, so I don't need to go in nuts with my spot checking because there's a lot of coverage in that powder. Okay, concealer is done, and now we're ready to go in with a 4-in-1 pressed powder, and I'm also going to be applying with the chisel brush. When you apply with a brush like this versus a big powder brush like this, you're gonna get a lot more coverage with this tighter, shorter brush hair. So if, say, you were using a liquid foundation and you just wanted to set your face with a powder, I would go ahead and use something like a powder brush as opposed to the chisel brush. And you'll see when I'm applying it, I just kind of like really push it, and I go in these like roundabout motions, and wherever I need a little bit more coverage, I'll kind of tap it in, going right over my eye as well. And always bring your foundation, whether it's powder, bronzer, whatever, a little bit down your neck because you don't want a mask. Now, if there's anywhere else that you kind of see any redness or darkness peeking through with this same powder, the 4-in-1, you can just go in with a smaller brush, a concealer brush. I'm gonna go in with this Morphe E16, kind of like a bullet brush, and I'm just gonna spot check again, right in these inner corners that I'm telling you. Oh, they've gotten worse since I've had my kids. Don't get me wrong. I love my children. Being a mom is awesome. It's just really hard sometimes. You gotta vent to somebody. All right, there we go. You can skip this step. This takes 2 seconds for me when I contour and bronze, and it makes such a big difference. I'm gonna go in with my Sephora Colorful Powder in the shade number 26. I'm gonna use my Morphe 523. Applying the most of your product closest to your ear and just kind of going towards your mouth, blending down. And then I'm gonna bronze. I have this Benefit palette. It's the Cheekathon, which they don't have anymore. They have another one, I think it's called Cheek Parade, that has most of the same shades in it. I believe Hula, which is what we're gonna bronze with, I think Dandelion and Rocketeur. I know those three are in there, along with another color that I'm dying to try called, I think it's California, like with a G. But anyhow, I am going to bronze with Hula, starting where I did that contour a little bit and up into my hairline. For me, bronzer is kind of essential. And I just kind of take it right down here. Make sure that my face and my neck are matching. All right. So now there's a little bit of depth and dimension back into my face. I will add some blush now, and using that same palette, I am gonna go in, I'm gonna mix Dandelion, Rocketeur. Keep in mind, you don't have to mix. You can use what you have. I will say Rocketeur is one of my favorite blushes. I think it's so pretty. It's one of those shades that'll look pretty on everybody. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and do brows. If you've got a nice set of brows and there's not much you need to do, I recommend that you just go in with some clear brow gel. Clear brow gel makes all the difference. Otherwise, you can just leave them blank. For me, I don't have a lot going on, so no matter how much time I have to do my brows. That's like my number one thing. I'm gonna go in with my Goof Proof pencil by Benefit. So yes, now we're gonna set, and I'm using the 24-hour brow gel by Benefit. And even though this might seem like an extra step, I'm telling you, it makes such a difference, especially if you are applying product on your brows. It makes your brows look a lot more natural, because sometimes when you're applying a pencil or a powder, you kind of have this block of a brow, if that makes sense. You don't see your skin through it, you don't see your hair. When you apply this over top, and you can use really and truly any brow gel. This I really love. Anastasia has a good one, and I know there's a gajillion out there to choose from. But it keeps your product on, it keeps your hairs in place, but it really makes them look more natural, and it takes 2 seconds. And sometimes I will just put it on my eyelashes. I mean, you can't really see my eyelashes, which is kind of a bummer, but if you're lucky and you've got dark lashes, just put it on your lashes, skip a step. Let's move on to eyes. Quite honestly, when I am trying to get out the door quickly, I don't have time, or my kids are running around, I spend the most amount of time on my skin. It's my skin that I want to look beautiful. I mean, you throw on some mascara, that's really gonna do the trick. I will, though, go in with just a couple of shades to make my eyes pop a little bit more, and I'm gonna use the Tarteist Pro To Go palette. The formula is beautiful. I'm gonna go in with my Morphe M441. Really, we're not gonna do a whole lot of detail, so the brush isn't a big deal. You just kind of want to make sure whatever you have is a big, full, fluffy brush. We're gonna go in with the shade Crisp. This nice warm shade right here, and we're gonna apply it to that outer corner of the eye. That's where you want to keep. I always tap off the excesses, and then once I have it applied on the outer corner like that, I just kind of blend it across. Boom, done. Even it out. This is my Mikasa E310. I love this brush. I use this for so many different things. Right now, I'm just gonna go under my eye with that same shade, Crisp. I use it to do detail work in my crease, and I can really darken up a shade that way. If I'm smoking out liner, I can use it for that. I really do like this brush. I think it's awesome. We're gonna go back into Crisp, that same color that we used on our lid, and I'm just gonna dust it right under my eye. Now I'm gonna quickly just darken up my lash line. When you darken up your lash line, it creates the illusion of fuller lashes. I did do a tutorial on tight lining. I'll link all my tutorials down below. I don't have that many just yet, but prior to tight lining, I'm just gonna use the same brush and I'm gonna go in with Stylin' and sweep right over the top of my lash line, about 3/4 of the way in, I'll say. Pop whatever is left on that brush on the very outer corners of your lower lash line. Now we're gonna tight line. I'm gonna go in with my Luxie 221 and we're gonna go right back into Stylin'. This takes 2 seconds and it makes such a difference. In my tutorial that I focus just completely on tight lining, I use both powder and gel, and the purpose of that is to show you that with eyeshadow you have a softer finish versus using the gel, it's more dramatic. So for the daytime, it's also just quicker. I'm using the same palette and I'm not switching out my brush. Just pop it up, get her done. Basically where you stopped your shadow on the top of your lash line. Now, I don't believe that we have any fallout from the eyeshadow that we just applied, but if you did, take a big powder brush and just kind of sweep away. Never want to use your fingers for fallout. Let's do some mascara. All right, I'm obsessed with this. This is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Voluminous Mascara. I always do have on hand a spoolie and just looks like this, which helps separate if you need any separating. And I apply to my lower lashes first so that when I am looking up to do my lower lashes, I don't dot my eyelids with mascara. Okay, now applying to the top of my lash, I always roll the brush down as I move it up, and I start with the base of my lashes, applying the most product at the base of my lash, and then kind of sweeping up to keep a nice wispy effect. I just got a little bit of mascara up on my lid. It's not the end of the world. I'm gonna let it dry, and then just with an eyeshadow brush, I'll brush it away. Not a big deal. But my one complaint with this mascara is every time you close it or put the brush back in to get more product, it like oozes out product. So I always have to take a paper towel and just kind of wipe off the top before I close it, which is annoying, but it's okay. Now, if you want to take the time to highlight, that's up to you. Highlighting is something I always do. I love it. We're gonna go in with the Sleek Solstice palette. I'm gonna just go in with this champagne-y color, and this is the Morphe 510 brush. You can already see a glow. Again, I mean, you can totally skip this step. Using that Mineral Dew in the beginning by Pharmacy and that Rockateur blush by Benefit, it already creates this light dew, so you could totally skip it, but I'm not. I never like to go too heavy with my nose highlight. Down the center of the nose. Cupid's bow, even though I need filler or Botox or whatever you call it. I always love a little inner corner highlight. This is the E36 brush by Morphe, and I'm going into that same peachy color in that palette and putting it right here. And I'm gonna do right under my brows as well for my brow highlight. It just really is a fun, neat trick to help keep your eyes looking awake and open. Okay, now it's time for lips. I'm just gonna throw on a gloss super quick. This is the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Creme Brulee. These are really pretty. This is a peachy, nudie color. And then I'm just gonna set. I was really excited. I was at Nordstrom's Rack yesterday. I had recently decided that I was gonna go ahead and repurchase my Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. I think I enjoy it more than the Kat Von D Locket. So I did order that on Sephora.com, but when I was in Nordstrom Rack, they have all the old packaging. This is the Chill formula. I've never tried it before. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. We're gonna find out right now. It was like $10 cheaper. So It's not on NordstromsRack.com. It's not on Haute Look, any of those. If you guys are familiar, you have to go into the store to get it. Also, Nordstrom's Rack started carrying MAC. Yeah. Oh, it does feel a little bit chilling compared to the original formula, but I like that. Setting spray really makes such a difference. It makes all the powders, any of the makeup that you put on to your face just set with your skin and looks so much more natural. And it also increases the wearability of your makeup throughout the day. All right, guys, well, this completes the look. Hopefully you like what you saw, and if you did, you'll give me a thumbs up. Also, if you would subscribe and hit that button right down below, I would be so appreciative. You can share this link, that'd be great too. I'll be sure to link all the products that we use during this tutorial in the description bar down below, also with my other social media handles where you can follow me. All right, guys, thanks so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.